We decided we were going to come up with our top 5 comic book movie adaptations. And I am not into comic book movies a whole lot.
And I am quite a bit.
Right.
So.
And I thought of this because out of nowhere, I put Scott Pilgrim on. And I knew how much I liked that movie, but I forgot how much I loved that movie. And if you remember, Dan, I actually was filming. I was filming something with you and Dean, and you guys were using Australian accents, and I wasn't really keen on that. But we had shot on film. We had shot our first short film on 16 millimeter, and while we were shooting it, I was like, "Hey, let's shoot this again on video."
I remember.
So I learned how to use a Canon XH, and then I shot you guys. And day one, we had 2 days of filming. Day one, I was using audio, and you guys brought out some weird Australian accents.
I don't remember that part.
I do. And I will show you the footage. I still have the footage of you going, "Hey, what you doing, mate?"
What?
Or whatever. Oh, yeah. No, it's bad. So I was like horrified that now I had this Australian thing, but Dean got hurt, if you remember.
Yeah,
Dean fell.
I tossed him down a rock.
Yes, he did. It was a very, very dangerous stunt. Dean did get hurt.
A little bit,
and we had to shut down production for the day, but we had gotten a lot. Well, that weekend, that was like a Tuesday. That weekend, I rented Scott Pilgrim.
Right.
And watched that twice. And was like, well, this is what I'm shooting. I'm like straight up stealing this movie. So we shot the second way, and you guys are like, well, what do you want? Audio? I'm like, fuck audio. Like, because I didn't bring the Zoom. I didn't bring that thing. And you're like, don't you need the Zoom? And I went, oh, we're done with this. No, we're doing whatever the hell We Are Sex Bomb song is our shit. So, and actually, this is probably a good time to, we'll put the link, if you can see the video we're talking about. It was a Sex Bomb video, and we can put the link here, and you can just to YouTube. So Scott Pilgrim, number one for me. The cast, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, and Michael Cera, whatever. Right. Kieran Culkin.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Igby Goes Down?
No.
He's amazing. Seriously, Igby Goes Down, small movie. Check that out. Alison Pill.
Yeah.
Who, actually, I'm in the process of booking her on this show.
What?
Yeah.
No. What?
Yeah, I'm telling.
You just blew my mind.
Yes. Well, you can tell her that too, but she's awesome. I didn't know. It took me like into season 2 of Newsroom for me to be like, all right, that is the same girl. Because I don't think that I think she does not look anything like herself in Scott Pilgrim, which she's the best.
Yeah.
Jason Schwartzman, Aubrey Plaza, and Anna Kendrick before they were
huge.
Before they were doing anything. And then the great Bill Hader, of course, which he is my dream, to interview him, because that's all I will talk about is this movie. I promise you that if I ever get to interview him, I will only ask him questions about Scott Pilgrim. I don't care what else he does. And then Jason Schwartzman too, who's freaking amazing. Okay, so that's number one. Far off number 2, and don't think I don't love V for Vendetta. I love that movie.
Right.
But that's a far off number 2.
Really? Okay.
And I remember watching that, first off, Wachowski Brothers, which, yes, we can all say Matrix 2 and 3, horrible.
Right.
But they made some pretty fucking good movies, too.
They also didn't direct that, though.
No, they just produced that.
Yeah.
That's right.
They had a big, I think
I think they got that movie made, is basically what happened.
Definitely.
But I think that movie was way better than the comic book, because I think the comic series or graphic novel was a little I just think it was all over. It's scattershot, and I was losing interest. I'm like, who are these fucking people that they're introducing in the fifth book?
Right.
You know, like more new characters in the fifth.
Right.
Like, whatever. So it was okay. The book was okay. I love that movie though, and I like that they started with the explosion of the statue and closed with
Explosion of
because they open with that in the comic book, which is. I was like, what?
Right.
Mind blown. But the opening, I wasn't sure if I was gonna like that movie because of that alliteration at the beginning.
Oh yeah.
When they meet.
I love that for not the reason they wanted. I think it's amazing.
I was uncomfortable.
Really?
I was uncomfortable.
That's it's so ridiculous.
Yes.
Like that's why I love it.
But see, and that's the thing. The rest of the movie isn't.
Right.
The rest of the movie
the beginning of that movie is a little weird.
It's just weird, and that's fine.
It feels kind of stilted, and then it kind of gets its legs.
Yeah, I'm not judging.
Yeah.
So number 3 is Batman, starring Michael Keaton, the original Hollywood blockbuster, first movie, if I remember correctly, to gross over 10 million on an opening weekend.
Really?
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it made like 11 million opening weekend, which was like Boffo numbers back then. Jack Nicholson, Jack Palance, Michael Keaton. Weird choice, Michael Keaton. Very weird choice. A little older than he probably should have been.
Hate mail for that.
Yeah. Why? Yeah. Blame him.
Right.
You know, for taking the job. Like, what was he supposed to turn down the money?
Right. No.
Oh, guys, I think you're making a mistake with casting me.
Yeah.
But he was a good Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
He was. Yeah. And I like the guy that played Knox. He's like a comedian.
Yeah. I saw him somewhere else not too long ago, and I thought, that's the that's the guy from
he had
Batman.
the show on HBO for a while. Arliss. Went on for like 10 years. I don't think anybody ever watched it. I liked it. I didn't mind it. It was about a sports agent.
There's something else he did on HBO. I saw.
Did he? Yeah, maybe.
It was like a history thing almost. He was in like a classroom. I forget what it was called, but it was really interesting.
I'm completely unaware. We're going to have to IMDb that.
I was just flipping through, found it.
Interesting. Okay, so then I chose History of Violence, which easily, what year did that come out? 2000, was that 2006?
Around there.
I'm going to say it was 2006. And that should have done better. I think it was the name. I think if it had a better name, it would have done better. And probably advertising probably sucked on it too.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, Viggo Mortensen, that was right around Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, it was Lord of the Rings. It was right after, I think, right? Yeah, because that was 2001, 2002, 2003, the Lord of the Rings. So this was a couple years after.
Yeah.
But it should have been more. I always forget that he's in that. And we're Philadelphia area, Norristown native Maria Bello is in that movie.
Yeah, she is.
In quite a sex scene.
Right. Yeah.
Ooh, they usually save scenes for that for Cinemax movies. That was quite an R rating that movie got. God damn.
It earned every...
Yeah, it did. But anyway, that movie was awesome. And was it William Hurt?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck it. Come on.
Ed Harris,
and he got...
too.
Yeah, well, Ed Harris. Yeah, Ed Harris is... Ed Harris and frickin'... what's his name? Duvall.
Robert Duvall?
Yes.
Yeah.
Two guys that if they're in, it doesn't... I watch Gone in 60 Seconds every time it's on. And it ain't for Angelina Jolie or Nicolas Cage.
Right.
Or Giovanni Ribisi.
Right. I think that goes without saying. I like Giovanni Ribisi, but...
You know, he's a second-generation Scientologist. He was born a Scientologist.
Really?
Yes. One of the few.
Interesting.
Yeah. Him,
I did not
his
know that.
sister. Do you know who his sister is?
Do I? You gonna blow my mind?
Probably not, because you probably only know her from one movie. The redhead from Dazed and Confused.
Really?
Yeah. The one that...
I didn't know that.
The one that, all right, he had the crush on.
Matthew McConaughey?
Yeah, he had the crush on her. He pulls out, she was with the nerds, and she's like, I think he's cute. Her. Yeah, that's, they're brother and sister, and she is now married to Beck, who is also second generation Scientologist.
That's an interesting coincidence, if it is.
Well, that's how they know each other.
Oh.
They grew up together, like going to
Scientology
Featon's school or whatever. And then my final movie, I have X-Men down for my fifth.
Yeah.
I liked X-Men 1. I think 2 was amazing. And then I haven't seen the newest of the First Class, but the first class, fucking awesome.
Yeah,
and that's I put X-Men. I'm saying it's the original because I think they did an awesome origin story without it being an origin movie.
Right.
It was an origin story without it being an origin movie, and they were able to tell a story. And like they broke kind of, even though they were like the second of the comic book movies in this generation,
right after
but they broke the mold. And I don't think anybody's done that properly since.
I suppose, yeah. I mean, I get it. I feel it's hard to have an origin story where literally the origin is they were born with their powers.
Right.
That there's the sentence,
but and I don't. We are running on time here, and we need to give you time. They do tell, like, because they weren't born with it. I mean, they were technically. It gets activated when they're, so you get to see like bang, 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 you know, the Anna Paquin scene, and you see the opening scene with the metal, you know, Magneto. And I did not, when I say X-Men, I don't count those goddamn Wolverine movies.
Second Wolverine's
I never.
decent.
First one wasn't good enough to look at the second one.
That's why the first one doesn't count. I don't actually.
No, but
think
I
that
wouldn't
movie
go back
exists.
and watch. I actually have a because of, and this is one of the reasons I haven't seen it yet. But I actually have a problem with the fact that they used current day Wolverine in that, like, future past. Like, he's the main guy. And I'm sorry, I know I haven't seen the second version. But the first one was so bad.
Yeah, no,
it
it's
was so
awful.
bad.
The second Wolverine movie is. I've only seen it once, I think, because it's very good until the third act when it turns into awfulness.
In the second one.
Yeah, the second one. The
Yeah,
Wolverine.
see, you're not selling me to watch this movie.
Just watch the first, turn the last half hour off.
I don't know, but the opening to the original Wolverine was freaking awesome.
What?
They could, with it where it was just showing them in the
war or
20s and the
whatever?
40s and
There's potential
Vietnam.
for that character.
There was
I mean,
a lot of
that's-
potential for that character, and they have Liev Schreiber in it, right? That's his name, right? Yeah,
Liev Schreiber, yeah.
And they completely waste that talent. And then did that have the Deadpool guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody
that was
hated that too.
Yeah.
I don't
'Cause
know.
they
I don't know
should.
anything about Deadpool. Like I know nothing about that character.
Right.
I just know people were freaking
Pissed. Yeah.